The newest season of the Ultraman franchise has had its premiere episode, so let's talk about Omega. Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube, and yes, I am a little late. Ultraman Omega has premiered a couple weeks ago. I've just been a little busy with some other things, so I wasn't able to get to it in time, so I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on episode 1 today, and episode 2. I watched them back to back. You guys are getting a special 2-episode full review, because I'm sorry. If you have not seen episode 1 or 2 of Omega yet, be warned, I will be spoiling everything that happens, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch them for yourself, because as always, for the last few years in Ultraman, they are available for free on YouTube with English subtitles, and multi-language subtitles, but I speak English, so I use the English ones. No dub this year, so far. Actually, I think they announced a dub, but so far there is no word on where the rest of the dub is, just to let you know in case you're wondering about that. So anyways, my thoughts on Omega. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's see. So going into episode 1, I mean, I got the big, like, Transformers, like, esque fight in the opening scene, which is my favorite part of the 2 episodes so far. It is just so cool. It looks absolutely incredible. Like the effects they did for the planet it feels like the Ultra Galaxy fight stuff, but it also feels like on another level compared to those. Like, it looks so real and unique and interesting, and I wish we got more of it. I understand that, you know, that's not what this show is gonna be. That's not what these shows are. I hope maybe we go back to it, though. Like, I mean, there's probably more to that fight that they're not showing us. Since it is like it's really cool to have this inciting incident that causes him to get his amnesia. I'm really curious what the thing that shot him down is. I imagine this thing will probably come back as like a final boss or big event kind of thing. Like, oh, Omega, you destroyed our entire planet, so I'm gonna come and kill you. I want to talk about the amnesia aspect with Sorato, because it's a really cool angle to take an Ultraman protagonist, because it feels like the normal kind of, oh, this character, like, let's see, recently we've gotten either they are a new, they've recently become an Ultraman, they're a host, or, I mean, that's really it. Actually, the last few years have really just been, they're not pre-established. I mean, Arc was, like, kinda semi-pre-established, but he was also new, which was also really interesting. I did like that. But I really like this take where he is pre-established. He was already Omega. He is not being contacted by a host, or to be a host, by an Ultraman, but he forgot he's Omega. So he's, like, still figuring things out. I guess it's kind of an inverse, where he knows about the Ultraman stuff. He sees the kaiju, he knows what they are, what they're doing. He knows how to be Omega. Like, he's not, like, figuring out transformation poses and all that. But he doesn't know about the Earth stuff that we as, like, viewers would know. Like he doesn't know about noodles and curry and, like, human names and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool. He doesn't even know how to talk properly, like, according to the subtitles. Like, he's saying things wrong, and Kosei's like, bro, that's not how you say that. So he's a really cool protagonist so far. I guess cool is not maybe the word that I'd use. Like, he's really interesting. And I think that's cool that they're doing this kind of thing with this character. Especially because, like, he's an older actor. So I think it's fun they got an older actor to act like a child almost. But, like, he's still kind of a badass. Like, he kind of does the Ultraman orb thing where he's jumping in the air and saving civilians. I love that he knows about the kaiju. Like, we don't really see Ultraman protagonists, like, read off a stat list when they see a kaiju. Like, that feels really fresh. So, like, that's really cool. As for other characters, in episode 1, of course, we do meet Kosei, and I think Kosei is cool. I don't really have a ton to say about him. He doesn't feel generic because it's, like, 2 episodes of character for him. I think him in tandem with Sorato is what makes him cool to me. Because he's just a normal guy. Like, we've got this crazy alien and a silly, funny, normal guy that, like, has goodness in his heart as well. So they're, like, a good pairing. I love that in episode 2, he's, like, helping Sorato figure out, like, how to be a normal person. Like, he's like, hey, man, you can't just go telling people your name is Omega. So he gives him a name, which is cool. He doesn't get the name in episode 1, which is, like, really fun. Like, because we know his name like going into the show. So if you finish episode 1, you're like, oh, he's just Omega, which I think is pretty cool. And then he also tells him, you can't transform in front of other people or else I won't give you any more food, which is absolutely ridiculous, because like I feel like you should feed that guy because he is saving you all from kaiju. We get a Yumu in episode 2. I do think it's kind of interesting that they saved her for episode 2. If I had a nickel for every every toku that's currently airing as I'm recording this, where the main girl character was not introduced until the 2nd episode, I would have 2 nickels. But because of that, it was nice to give a Yumu like a full character introduction focus in that episode, since we got the 2 guys in episode 1. I really loved her dynamic right now. Part of that is because of the world we have. I love that we have a world that is being introduced to kaiju. They don't even have the word kaiju in this world, which is weird because that's just a word that we don't have big monsters, but we have the word kaiju. I mean, the people in Japan have the word kaiju. No, wait, people in America use the word kaiju too. So it is kind of insane this world does not even have the word kaiju. Because every time Serato says kaiju, they're like, what are you talking about? So, anyways, because this world's being introduced to kaiju, I think it's really fun that we don't have an attack team. Or, like, any kind of team. Last year we didn't really have an attack team. We had, like, a biology team. We don't even have that. Serato and Kosei are just 2 guys chilling. And a Yumu is part of, like, a research team, but they're not, like, super high-tech or advanced. Like, they feel realistic because they're in a world without kaiju. Being introduced to kaiju. So, having, like, to me, in episode 2, it really felt like our 2 guys are, like, 2 boy fails, and they're getting introduced to the girl boss to help them out. I am curious to see, because, like, in episode 2, it kind of felt like they just ran into a Yumu, and she kind of felt like a guest character. I know she's a main character going forward. I'm curious to see how these 2 random guys become more friendly with this researcher. Like, how does that become a team, because she's already in a team, you know what I mean, and they're just 2 guys. So I'm curious to see how that will play out. So something really stuck out with me in the episode 1 fight scene, which carries on into episode 2 and I assume the rest of the show, which is that, like, Omega, the way the suit actor Omega fights is very reminiscent of Serato's movements. Like, the way, like, the weird thing Serato does, like his hand in the air, he did this hand pose in civilian form, and that's like the iconic Omega pose that's in all the posters and stuff. It's a very small thing, but I really love it because it really does feel like he is Omega, compared to the last few years where we've gotten hosts and Ultraman, so like they are different people. It's just really cool to go back to having no host, and the character and the Ultraman feel so connected as one person. I think that's really cool. When he goes into Omega, I also love the visuals. Like, I love the Omega suit. Let's just say it straight up. It has really grown on me. A big part of that is the red face. Favorite color is red, obviously. So I think making a red-faced Ultraman is really cool. It's really unique. And I think it works very well for this character. I also love his fighting style with the slugger. We brought back a slugger device. His ending attack in episode 1 is just slashing through the monster. I think that's really cool. We don't get we get a beam attack in the beginning, but we don't get like a beam attack like on full display until episode 2. So I think that was a really cool dynamic that they introduced just for the fight scenes. So anyways, what I was saying is, like, I think the visual of Serato getting like the riser piece going onto his chest, making that armor that Omega has, and then like assimilating into him, and then he does the rise, because I feel like recently we just get the transformation and then we go straight into the rise, and getting this little in-between portion and then going into the rise was really cool. I really enjoyed it. And it also, like, the music is really interesting too. Like, there's this like just little beat that they play before when he's in the middle of transforming that just sounds so cool. And then the music in the fight, and like I think the episode 2 music when he does the beam is like absolutely incredible. So they like, it's weird because I don't think the action is like super interesting, like it's just kind of standard Ultraman action, but like everything going into it and all the music and everything like just makes me super invested in it. And also because like I like Serato doing the weird poses as Omega. And speaking of the visuals too, we also get like the opening in episode 2, and I love how they're doing the classic Ultraman like silhouette pose things. I don't know how to describe it, but I'll show a picture. Like, you know what I'm talking about. They do it all the time, but I don't think they've ever done it like for a full opening sequence. At least I haven't seen that. So I thought it was really cool. I really love the visuals of the opening. The song's okay. The ending song is way better, but the opening visuals are way better than the ending visuals because Ultraman always has boring ending visuals. Hot take, I don't know. So I definitely want to know what you guys thought of Omega's first 2 episodes down in the comment section. I believe I'm uploading this the day that episode 3 is going up, so make sure you check that out. And if you want to hear my thoughts on that episode and all of the future episodes, I will be doing my short reviews every week on that week's episode, so make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of that, and I hope to see you next time.